attempt to make a request after school hours, you can wait for well over an hour for any sort of response. Even the dispatcher, I mean, I personally have experienced it once. You can be on hold for 20 minutes waiting for the dispatcher to answer.
Yeah, I know. We've had a lot of difficulties. I used to be the transportation person, so I've probably spoken to some of you about previewing this, so I have a lot of insider info about this. But yes, we have had issues in general with peak times being after school. It also coincides with that time being, a lot of commuting time as well, around the 3 to 4 time, as well as during that time, we start the shuttle to the Palmetto. So one of the vehicles is always shuttling people that are being picked up or going to the Palmetto Metro Rail station for that regional connection. So there's several factors in the late afternoon that compile into it being a very busy time. We do have some teenagers that use the service. Honestly, it's not a large amount of our general population of users. However, there are some. Usually in the afternoon, we will dedicate a car. That's if there's a lot of students coming to or from a school, they'll have one person go and do that shuttle to try to reduce the effect that it has on the rest of the population. But unfortunately, this is a public transit service, so everyone has the right to be able to use it, and we haven't been able to get, during just that time, it is so busy, it is difficult. We're always trying to reduce the wait times, and part of the reason we're applying for grant funding is to try to get more money to continue to increase the frequency and try to improve those wait times for users. It is definitely something that we are always working with the staff at Freebie though to try to address and make sure that people are being communicated to when there is a long wait for the service.
Does Elder Affairs support this financially in any way?
Not anymore.
Not at minimal, but
No,
something?
No,
not at
that
all.
got taken off our budget.
You
okay.
used to only
Yes.
support the Sunday shuttle service in particular. That was what the Elderly Affairs Committee provided funding towards, but you guys chose to do that, so now that's just in part of the regular freebie budget. But it was only ever the Sunday shuttle.
Correct.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Part of my question was answered when we asked who's funding this, but
Yes.
you've got kids getting on a freebie, in a freebie, whatever the vehicle is. Is anybody checking if they have the right to be there? For instance, are they a town of Miami-Dade resident? And you've got all these teenagers getting on this freebie. I'm more concerned about accidents and insurance and whatever that's costing. And who's paying for that? Me as a taxpayer, or this committee, or the town? How does this work?
So all of our freebie service it comes out of our special transportation fund budget. So half of the freebie service is funded through this Florida Department of Transportation grant that we receive for public transit, and the other half comes from the Citizens Independent Transportation Trust, which is a county-run organization that provides the half-penny surtax funds, if you guys have heard of that, for the whole county to support public transit. We get a portion of that money, and part of that is designated for public transit uses. It's the only thing we can use that money for. So that is
Okay. So who's checking IDs of these kids?
No, we don't.
Is you is or is you ain't my baby?
No,
So-
so we don't check IDs for anybody that's using the service. This is a public transit service. It is not for Miami Lakes residents exclusively. So anybody that is in the town, even if you work here or you're visiting in the town, anybody has a right to use the service. We can't discriminate based on anybody being an outside of the town resident because it's a public transit service.
So no town money is going towards that?
No town tax money goes towards this at all.
Okay.
Then why are we talking about
They're
that?
going on with their meeting, but yeah, it's not connected.
All right, guys, we need to move along.
That's all.
Anything else?
No, that's all.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna leave these. If anybody's willing to offer their support, I have, again, 2 versions of the letter. And I will also definitely connect with Isle about coming to the sock hop and bringing some of these if anybody's willing. So,
Thank you, and we'll announce it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Of course.
All right,
What time is the social?
okay, we'll get there. Let's go through the agenda, so we should.
Whatever you.
Presentation, anybody here for a presentation? no presentation.
She just did it.
No, she was public comments, I think.
Mhm.
So, either one. I thought she was public comments,
Yeah.
because that's what she told me.
Mhm.
Presentation, no presentations. Treasurer's report. Anybody wanna report on the treasurer's report? Because Sarah's not here. We can look, it's attached to our agenda. We have $17,695 left. Remember, our budget ends September 30th, correct?
Yes.
So I think we're doing pretty good. Any
Repeat-
comments about it?
Repeat the amount, please.
It's here, it's on your paper, on the back.
Okay, almost.
Yeah. Right. Any other questions about it that, I don't know. Not that I can answer a lot of them, other than what's on here, all right? So let's go. Comments from the chair. So I am speaking on behalf of our wonderful chair, Rosario. She might be watching as we do this.
What do you?
They have changed the rules that allow us to get somebody off of our committee if they miss 3 meetings. The rules have been changed. She wants to make sure that we implement this because, and I think I don't know if we need to take a vote on it, but for good cause, what she says, if it's good cause, no problem. You know, you're sick, somebody got sick in your family and you have to take them to the hospital or to the doctor. But when you're gone for an extended period of, I feel horrible for Samuel right now. He fell, he had a horrible accident, he's recovering. So, and he was actually gonna try and come, but it turns out he had a doctor's appointment today.
That's medical.
So that's medical. And I think everybody's entitled to a vacation, hey, I like taking vacation, so I'm gonna say we should be able to take vacation. But when you're not attending any function, you're not attending any meeting, and you're going months without attending
You're out.
anything,
Mhm.
and you don't have a legitimate excuse, Rosario and I am speaking now on the vice chair's position, I think we should agree that they should be kicked out.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Nancy?
I don't know why this still bothers me, but I had someone on my committee that would walk through the door, come in, sit down, wouldn't say hello, wouldn't say a word, wouldn't vote, wouldn't do anything, and leave. When we had an event, he'd bring his kid, and now I had 2 people doing nothing, driving me nuts. I prayed for the day
Okay,
when
good
he
point,
had
Nancy.
three in a row out, and then they changed the rule. So, from now, what I understand, we wanna change it again, or back, or what?
They have
Yeah,
approved.
through the chair. I just want to make sure, because I don't know if all of you guys are up to date, but I did send an email to all of you letting you know that the rules have been changed. The removing of somebody on any committee is not up to the committee to decide. It really is up to the appointing council member. And if you take a look at the rules, if any of you haven't had a chance and you want a physical copy, there's some copies here, let me know. You can see that it's as,
3 rules.
yeah, we're kind of back to what the old rules like 2-3 years ago, which is after 3 consecutive absences, you're out. There's a little more detail for those that are absent, for more than 3 times, and maybe it's not back to back, those will also be removed if it falls within the rules. So I really would suggest that you guys look at it, so you're aware of how removals will be taking place.
So everybody should look at that, should be aware of it. Yes?
What about the people that fail to go 3 times to serve the food and clean the place and serve the tables?
Per the
Well,
rules, they also have to participate, so I do suggest you guys take a look at those.
they have to participate, but understand that
Passing right now.
Thank you.
not everybody can attend the bingos every month. I can tell you for me, it's very difficult. I always go on the weekend ones, I always attend all the weekend ones. And I try and take off and attend some here and there, like I will be at the sock hop because Rosario can't be. So I've moved my schedule, but I need to be out of there by I have to be back in my office by 11:30. But, you know, there's people on the committee that aren't retired. So to say that they have to be at every bingo is, I think, an impossibility, because I can tell you if that's the case, I'll resign right
Yeah,
now,
no, it's me
because I
too,
can.
because I work
So,
too.
right.
Yeah, and I go during my lunch hour,
Right,
so I spend my lunch hour there.
so I think we try and be good about it, and to some extent, we rely on the people that are, retired
And able to do it.
and able to do it.
It's fair.
I mean, we try.
Yeah.
You know, I go shopping when possible to buy stuff, she goes shopping when, you know, we try and help in other ways. So I think that was her comment from the chair. Do you remember if there was any other comments?
Just to be clear about one thing though, I know that there's some people that have excessive absences up until this point this year that, looking at the rules, they kind of would fall under that. But keep in mind, nobody is going to be removed retroactively. It's really starting from now on.
What happens if the council person that assigned them is no longer a council person? Then who would be the one that would?
The person that took over that
Okay, that
seat
seat,
will
okay.
continues with the appointment.
But that person that takes the place of that council person who left does have the right to remove
Yes.
Yes.
someone
Yeah.
and
Yes.
put in their own. Keep
Correct.
that in mind, everybody.
Well,
Well, it's
I mean,
only
it
right,
makes
I'm
it-
not saying it's wrong,
but
I'm only bringing it
no,
up.
but honestly, it makes it difficult for times like today that we just made quorum. We,
Anyways, to go to the social at Robert Alonso, it has to be before 5 o'clock. No, before 5 o'clock, because Monday through Friday from 5 to 9, they play dominoes in there.
okay,
A
Every
bunch
day?
of old men that have very bad attitudes. They always fighting with each other. I went there one day and I said, no more.
okay. But I,
We're
we'll get
long
to
gone by
the,
5.
we'll
Yeah.
go to the, okay, old business. Let's talk about the bingo, the last bingo. Anybody? Any comments?
It was good.
Oh, wait, now I remember something, that brought something up.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, I'll write myself a note, so
I got a couple of complaints, so I'm just gonna bring them to the table. There were a few, I guess, participants that they told me, how come for Easter you guys decorated with bunnies and chocolate, and for Mother's Day you guys you're not doing anything? I kind of try to play it up because I'm fairly new, but I mean, some sort of good management skills. And I told them, listen, I mean, we do have a social coming up. I'm like, yeah, but it's not on Mother's Day. He said, neither is today, Mother's Day. And she did look at me like, are you gonna fix the comment that you just made? I'm like, but I appreciate the fact that you told me that we didn't do anything like a decoration or flowers or anything for Mother's Day. And I said, I will bring it to the table. Thank you for letting me know. And then another one added on to the complaint. And then another one, like about 3 of them added on to the complaint. So I just wanted to share that because I told her that I would let you guys know, girls, ladies, you, all of you.
Well, I mean,
I,
all I can say is, you know, we try and decorate for events
correct.
that, let's face it, Mother's Day, hey, I'm a mom, I think every day should be Mother's Day.
That's what I told her.
Mother's Day.
But unfortunately, we're not appreciated every day.
Yeah,
As
but
anybody
that
who's
is
been a
also
mom
true.
here,
When it's
we are not,
over-
they don't say thank you, so that's why there is
when
a
it's over,
day.
everybody takes the thing and takes it home.
But
No matter
at
what we put in
least,
there.
at
If you put
least
those, they'll take them home.
on the other holidays, it's there for everybody It's, because if not, we're only catering to half the population.
Correct.
And we try and cater it to all the population, or the majority of the population. We are doing a sock hop, like you said to her.
Yes.
We have
Yes.
centerpieces for the sock hop. Look at the beautiful centerpiece, thanks to Maria, that she made.
I did.
Yeah, it looks very
Beautiful.
I thought it was
Pretty.
beautiful.
Remember the time?
And so,
Now you know what a
You know,
sock hop is?
we, unfortunately, the amount of years that I've been on this committee, I have learned that there is always something that we do wrong. No matter what we do,
I cannot realize that.
Again, it
Because
should be-
no matter what, I think everyone's,
should-
just, out of 110
it's kinda like Mother's Day. We
Someone's-
don't get appreciated unless there's a day, but there's not a committee appreciation.
Well, Father's Day, we
Day
don't,
from
we don't
all
get
the-
people selling flowers on the street on Father's Day.
Yeah.
You get a fishing tournament.
Yeah. They do get
And the cover
Yes.
answer is that we only have a budget that's allocated just so far. We cannot do every single
Holiday.
event.
And I think that could have been
Budget.
a better answer, the budget.
Yeah.
So I understand that what we're doing is free to them. And-
Right.
And that kind of connects me to the second, I don't know if there's a section that we kind of comment on something, or
Yeah,
or
sure.
this is it,
No, well, if it's regarding something.
it's
that's on
regarding
my
the
list-
bingo.
Oh, go ahead, just,
So it's just one of my suggestions or ideas. When we have a tie, that we go to the dice, someone wins and they still happy, but the loser, it takes a toll on them and the table. Right, so if we're doing $100 gift card,
Mhm.
instead of buying $100 gift card, we should get $50 gift cards. And if we get a tie, they both win, because they're there for fun, they're not there for the prizes.
okay,
Oh,
so,
yes, they are.
wait, do you want to
the
make a
tablecloth.
motion?
Ah, ah.
Yes,
Make a
Make a
motion.
motion.
So, so I would like to make my first motion. And maintain, keep the same amount of gift purse, the price, but divide it as in two. So if one person wins, we still give them the $100, we give them 2 cards. Meaning, you get me?
No, I'm
Meaning
confused.
you give one to the person that
In
runner up.
other words, wait, should we get 50, so, let
He's
me,
saying get $50.
Instead of getting we get what, $500, 5 gift cards of $100?
No, we do.
So we do 4, instead of doing 4 cards of $100, we do eight cards of $50.
okay.
So if there's a tie, we
They
don't go,
split,
they
the,
split and then
Right.
both
Each person
are happy.
gets, yeah.
Right.
okay, so,
And then
wait,
the person
that's
who
his
wins.
motion, is that your motion?
That's your motion.
Okay,
To do 50s instead of 100s.
Hundreds.
Yeah.
to
agree
split
with
the
that.
grand prize between two
And,
people.
and avoid the disappointment of the person that won, because I mean, they're still gonna win, but we're setting this up for fun.
I agree.
Okay.
Right.
Alright, so, that's the motion.
A second.
And eliminate the dice.
I second too.
Yeah, now.
Now,
we're
there's,
Is that where
now
they
there's
both go with
discussion,
them?
Okay.
alright. So that's the motion, it's been second, discussion.
So,
Maria.
So, my concern about that is, at the last bingo, we did have 3 people win on the same card at the same round.
Mhm.
So, that, while it's a great idea, would not work. If we're gonna do that, then we just need to stay across the board. If they win a bingo, they get a $50 gift card. Doesn't matter, if you don't wanna split the prizes and stuff, it's just flat out, it's $50 for winning and that's it. And then we don't have to run into the problem of someone feels bad because they had to share it with that person, and we don't have to worry about, oh, well, now 2 people won, now 3 people won, because we did have, in 2 of our games last week, we had one where 2 people won, and then we had one where 3 people won.
Mhm.
And then
So-
throw the dice.
So you're saying everybody should get a gift card?
Okay,
Yeah, and
hold
which-
on, raise your hand, sorry, go ahead, Jackie.
The only thing I would add to that is that we've known for years that the main attraction to our bingo events is the free lunch and the opportunity to win a prize. But getting to the prize aspect of it, this is a game of chance. I mean, I have said that in the past to someone who might be pouting and saying, I won, but I didn't get anything. It's a game of chance. Someone will win and someone will lose. But as Maria pointed out, there are times that we have 2 or 3 winners, and one time we had 4 winners.
But how
However,
often does that happen?
we've never acknowledged the runner-up for all the years that, and I'm not being contrary or
No,
arguing.
I
I'm
mean,
just
I,
explaining.
But how
and
often do
again,
4
that's,
people win, or how often do 3 people win? Is it
Hold on.
often? Because
You have to
For
raise your hand.
years,
Hold on.
for
even, you know?
Hold on.
years, we have never acknowledged the
Maria,
runner-up.
But in this case, it's not really runner-up, because if you and I are
It's not,
playing,
yeah.
and you win and I win and she wins,
So
we
we
all
got
won
the
at the same
fastest
time,
one at
so
the
why
same
should
time.
I not
Yeah,
get a
but
prize if you and I won at the same time?
decided with the flip of
But
the
I've
dice.
never,
Yeah.
honestly, I've never agreed with that dice, because
Me
again, we
either.
go back, if you and I win at the same time, why should
Yeah.
you get the prize and I not get it because I drew a dice?
Uh-huh.
We're not
Yeah.
Vegas,
Or you're
and
faster
the thing
up
is
to
that
the
we have
table.
the money, we
Yeah.
have the budget. And if we buy gift cards, the gift cards are there, they don't expire, so if we don't use it this bingo, we use it the next
And you
bingo,
have
we use it
extra.
the other one.
okay, hold on, she hasn't, Isabel.
I'm fairly new,
Yeah.
and that's a complaint that I had when people found out that I was joining the committee. They said, that's no good, that, throwing the dice is not
Okay.
good, you have to, if everybody wins, everybody should get
You
some.
ha-
Mhm.
Millie was
Something
trying to
is-
say something.
Well, that's the same complaint, maybe it was the same table that was just decided to complain to everybody, because they said it to us, it was the same thing, they're complaining about they'd rather have, they're like, oh, $100 for one person, they'd rather have 50 and more people win. And, Councilman Angelo was there, and he was actually gonna try to make this meeting to voice his concerns, because people went up to him and they were complaining to him left and right about
Okay.
different things.
Omar.
and again, if we were to split, it's in
That's
unity,
fine.
we split it, we still have the same amount.
Okay, so what are we gonna do?
But
We
But like
need a
that,
second to have the discussion we're having, don't we?
We are having the
Yes.
discussion,
So-
that is the
And
discussion.
like, you know, like you said, if we get 3 winners, then we still have enough to provide. Because at the end of the thing, which is another comment that I have, we have a raffle with gift cards from, the Ale House, right? If it comes down to that, we cut short one of the raffles because we needed it for the prize, if needed,
That makes sense.
if needed. So we're never gonna be
There's an
sure
accent,
because
I know.
we still have a buffer with the raffles that we have that are just extra gift cards. And
So, okay, so do you wanna modify your motion, or do we vote on it? It's harder than it
If
seems.
I'm understanding what you're saying,
Right,
okay, and rather than doing a $100 gift card,
correct.
we should buy a bunch of $50 gift cards.
Correct.
And have it and have that be the prize. And if by some chance we have games where we have more than 2 winners, we have 3 winners, if we still need more cards, we would take those from the local restaurant cards that we raffle at the end, and we would use that to make up any shortfall.
And it doesn't hurt
And if we have
perception,
extra,
it doesn't hurt what we're doing for them.
So is it still going to be, just because I want the motion very clear, is it
Yes.
still gonna be the one that gets the $100? And that one's gonna be split
Into 50.
into 50s? Are all of the raffles,
all of them.
okay, so then we do it with all.
That's
So
fair.
just give me,
Oh,
I guess to be
wait.
clear, what I need from you guys is just give me a total lump sum of how many cards of 50 we're getting for the entire bingo
The
game
same-
and
the
raffle
same,
prices.
just in-
Right,
the
all of
same
them.
100, but
Like
just in
all of the
50.
cards,
Just
all
divide it by.
all of the
the
gift
50.
cards should be of equal value of $50.
Right.
And in the event that there's 2 winners, then we just split it 50-50. If there's 3 winners, then we do 50-50-50. And until the last game, if we need an additional gift card, then we take it from the restaurants. So
Okay.
that way we still break even, we have a less raffle, but everybody's happy.
Okay,
Yes.
that's your motion, correct?
Yes.
That's my,
That's your
I second,
modified motion.
that is my modified motion.
I second
Discussion as to the modified motion, and I see,
I agree with you 100%. However, instead of taking it out, no, you know why? Because this is what's gonna happen because of the crowd we're dealing with. Instead of taking it out of the restaurant thing, let's just have extra 50s because
Because
you're
we
gonna
don't
have
have
somebody
somebody
say,
anyway.
why did she get $50 and I
Oh,
got a
yeah,
restaurant
people
one?
are ridiculous.
So
And-
to avoid that, we'll just, gift cards
Gotta
don't
be all the
expire,
same.
so we can have an you know what I mean? Like, we'll have them there, but keep
Right,
everything
right.
the same in uniform because it's.
In
gonna
uniform,
cost
that, and
us.
that's what I meant,
Yeah,
since
yeah.
we
It's
have
gonna cost.
$400,
Too much.
okay,
we have,
alright,
I don't think that's gonna be a problem, because Iowa's gonna go buy 8 $50 gift cards
Mhm,
to cover the 4 games.
mhm.
The odds of us having 2 winners at every single game are very slight.
Yeah.
So that means we will have leftover cards from the bingo before. So it's not, I highly doubt that we're gonna go through the 8 cards. So we will have leftover cards, so that on the weeks that we do have 3 winners, we will already have a card in
But
there.
remember, there's always
So,
Murphy's Law.
you know,
Alright, well,
yeah.
yeah.
But whatever you guys
So now-
want.
so that's
I do agree, because our bingos have gotten huge. We had 110 people show up to the last bingo. Okay, it was insanity.
and again, I know, like, I don't even know how to play bingo, I know we have the 1 line, the X, the 4 corners, I'm understanding now. But at the end, even if we still wanna raffle the remaining cards to, you know, to kind of allocate everything that we spend, or then we just have more raffles to give away at the end, and everybody's even happier at the end.
so, should, alright, well,
Modify.
Does anybody know?
no, I think,
specifically the
I
motion?
Oh,
think we need
Clearly,
we can decide how many we have to buy, but we have to decide whether we stick to money, or do we have that option of if we ran out and we go to the restaurant cart?
well, I mean,
I see heads shaking. That's the only
but I
thing
think
that I
it's,
think is
it's
left.
still the same value, because it's still a gift, we're not, I mean, we're still doing this for them to have fun and a good time.
Yes, but
I-
they like to be even Stevens.
I mean, how about
Like,
if
they're the ones that at one point on Thanksgiving, they complained because they weren't getting a turkey leg. And I said, turkeys only have 2 legs. Like, everybody can't get a turkey leg, you
Right.
know? So,
we, right?
I mean, so you're talking, but he got a turkey leg, and I'm like, we're out of turkey legs. There's a whole turkey.
I mean,
So understand when I tell you that this happens. So,
I mean, and for that matter, we could still, for
What-
one bingo,
can
we
I
get,
make a suggestion?
Yes.
That we buy, right now, it's $400.
correct,
Instead of $400, that we do 450, but we still stick to only giving 400. If we have this little blur where there's now 3 and 3 and all
Okay.
this stuff,
okay,
then we have that 1 extra card, and they will,
that
the
we can
next
still
month,
raffle at
there'll
the end,
be
or hold?
possibly 2 extra cards.
Hold.
And then at the end of the year, you know, at the end of our fiscal year, we can have a special
Right.
something raffle to give out whatever cards we didn't. Does everybody like that idea?
That's-
Alright, so
idea.
modify your motion.
So modify,
Let's start over.
so let's modify the.
Remodify, modify.
So, I have 3 lakes behind my house, I can get ducks, and whenever they don't get a
Turkey.
turkey, we'll give
We give
them one
it
of
a
them.
I know.
Okay, so we're just getting 1 extra.
So I would like to modify the modification of the motion.
Okay,
So we will buy of equal value, $450 worth of $50 gift cards to the choice of supermarket, Publix. And then they will be distributed accordingly in the same manner that we've been doing it. Anything that is remaining, we will hold on to it
Mm-hmm.
as it's being collected or as it's needed for any future events.
Yes, because it
Second.
doesn't
Okay.
have expiration.
Second.
All right, any discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? Hearing no nays, motion passes.
Awesome.
All right.
So-
Go ahead.
So the last one, because it's been on my mind.
See.
When it comes to the gift cards for the restaurants, I know we have a lot of local restaurants that we can, perhaps myself, I know a few of the owners or employees. I know that we're buying these things, right? But I think that we also could get them for free as
You
a
will get them
donation,
for free.
as a donation, as a marketing tool for them.
Go for it.
And if we, but I don't know if I need some sort of permission to go to Francisca and say, hey, I need $100 worth of gift cards.
you're
or
a-
467.
You're a committee member, so
Correct.
you're authorized to get any sponsors first, because that's considered a sponsor. Any committee member is entitled to speak to anybody about sponsoring our events. And that would be considered a sponsorship of our events.
And that also includes the other local businesses, as my barber shop down the street. He's been a barber for Miami Lakes. His father was the barber for Shulas in Dan Marino.
Okay,
I mean, he doesn't really need the
that's
marketing.
why we like fresh blood, it brings in
But-
fresh money.
But I think there's other, I mean, we have, thank you. We have a new restaurant coming up, where Ken and Mike's used to be. I mean, Ken and Mike's closed after 25 years. They're opening a new Argentinian pizza place, meat, whatever it is. But even in that shopping center that I visit every day for Casabana, there's still, there's other places that we could, cause I just realized that a lot of the bingo players, not all of them are Miami Lakers.
Correct.
Cause I have one of the,
Oh, no,
someone
most,
that won,
I would say probably half of them for sure are not Miami
yeah,
Lakers.
so a lady that won one of the gift cards from the house came up to me and she asked me, what is this? How can I use this? And where is this?
Okay.
Did you get the
And I was, whoa.
Okay.
So perhaps keeping the business, keeping the money inside the lakes can help us balance the whole idea of Roberto Alonso allowing other people that are not
Right.
residents.
That was the original, idea of making the raffle tickets local restaurants. Was the idea was, we're gonna make them visit the businesses here in town.
Right.
And that was the whole idea of why we wanted to go with the gift cards from local restaurants.
And for businesses, I mean, there's,
Yeah, we have
Beauty
nail
salon,
places,
nail
we have,
places,
exactly.
absolutely.
I mean,
so that's not a problem.
Okay.
All right, let me, before I forget,
Can I ask one quick question?
sure,
I'm part of the bingo event, but when you're giving out these cards, you're doing your thing, I'm not even paying attention. My question is, she wins a bingo, do you hand her a specific card? Or does she get a choice, which I think is
No,
true?
just go and
How-
have one.
Whoa, I'm just asking, how is it done? And answer that first, and then there's a suggestion if that
they get
answer-
handed a card.
They get handed, so you're picking the card that you're gonna give them to some degree. Now, hold
Yes,
on,
we're taking it out of a box, yes.
hold on. What if, let's say you had 6 cards?
Yeah.
You put them in a shoebox, and they put their hand in the box and they pick.
No.
And there's no favoritism
No.
or complaining.
No,
You're not having a
we're
problem
not
with
doing that.
complaining.
We're not doing that.
Okay, fine,
The
that's
reason
fine.
we're not gonna do that is they're gonna take forever to pick a
And
card.
they're all the same.
No,
color.
you reach your once and that's it.
No.
But Nancy, you don't understand, they're all the same card.
Okay,
They're all the exact same card.
okay.
So it
I've
doesn't
never
really
been
matter.
a part of
Yeah,
that.
no,
Alright.
it doesn't matter. When we buy the restaurant cards, it's all the same restaurant for that event.
That's great.
They don't get another choice.
Well,
When we
you'd
go to
have
the
to have
next
it that
event,
way.
it's all the same restaurant, it's all the same cards. They don't get a choice. There's,
Great,
we're only gonna get cards from Ale House this week. We're only gonna get cards from Casavana this week. That's it. They don't get a choice.
All right,
perfect, thank you.
I forgot one of the things, oh my God. All right, so one of the things is, Rosario told me that apparently somebody showed up to speak at the event that was not a sponsor. at the last bingo. And that one of the council persons got the mic and introduced them and let them speak. And they spoke for a while. We are very particular about, and our rules, and we've agreed to this, that they have to pay if they want to be a sponsor. They pay less if they're not for profit. If they're for profit, they pay more. This is how we are able to do this. We need to convey to a council person that may be there that they can't just go, hey, let me have my friends speak, or, oh, I know them and they're really nice and they're very helpful for the community, let them give a word. The answer is no. Because
Agreed.
it is not correct to those who pay. And then those that paid have a right to get annoyed at us, and then we lose those that pay. So since we don't want to lose those that pay, we should not permit a council person to, I know council people have a right to speak, but.
I was gonna mention something else.
Go ahead.
Just so we're clear on I've shared the sponsorship package with all of you at this point, various points. The benefits have not changed, and I wanna be very clear that even those paying sponsors, part of the benefits package was never, at least not for the bingo, was ever for the sponsor to go up in front of the crowd and address the crowd. That has kind of taken effect because committee members have been like, oh, I'm gonna bring this person up and I'm gonna introduce them because they're a sponsor. But please understand that the reason for the package is so that the benefits are very clear and laid out and the sponsors sign off on it, so they know what they're getting. So therefore, when they ask you, can I go up to say a few words? And if you were to tell them no, you're not exactly going against what was promised, because we never promised that paying sponsor that they were gonna have the opportunity to address the crowd. And I'm gonna read it verbatim for you guys. Opportunity to distribute marketing materials to event attendees. That's why we put out a table and they can sit there and pass out their marketing materials. Sponsor acknowledgement during the event. A committee person should go up there and say thank you to Cigna, thank you to Humana. And then the other one is company name in the event press release. So we, town, will take care of adding their name under the town calendar. We can add their name. That essentially covers all the benefits that they are agreeing to. Anything else additional is really something that the committee is doing for them, but it is not promised, so I leave that to your discretion at that point.
So, I think the council person that was there is not somebody that is familiar with our committee and our rules. It is our job, whoever is there, to let them know that we are abiding by our rules, which is what has been made public via the sunshine rule to everybody in the town. Okay?
But the problem was that this person was not a sponsor. They wanted to
Not a
talk.
sponsor. Absolutely, that's what I'm saying. They should not have been allowed to speak. They should not have been given the mic to speak. The council person should not have taken the mic from the DJ or the box or
And
whatever.
saying, we're stopping
Even
this
if
game
it's
that
a
you're in the
stop,
middle
Wait,
that
of.
was
right.
not a part
And we
of
shouldn't
the
have
event.
stopped, we don't stop a game for them.
They did not stop the game the right way. We had complaints about that. Because what they did was Modi yelled bingo to get everybody's attention. Everybody stopped playing. A lot of people cleared their cards because they thought bingo had been called. She spoke, and then Modi started doing the bingo again. So I had two tables tell me, what, I don't understand. We thought they called bingo. And bingo was never called.
So,
It was her, I don't know why the bingo caller did it. We already know, I have personally said I think we need to start looking at a different bingo caller at this point.
so my point is, as a committee, when a council person comes in, maybe we need to start educating them and go, hey, rules are,
Right.
hey, if you're gonna hand out food, you have to take a ticket from the person because they must be collected. You don't get to just say these people get to come in because, you know, everybody gets to come in, but there's rules. The people with the tickets get food first. And if we don't collect tickets, then people, as we know, will say they didn't get food and they put it in their bag, and now we're gonna be short food. So, I really, and I'm not there as often as I know a lot of you are, so I really wanna say from my perspective, please, let's try and follow the rules that we have scheduled, that we have said here. If you're not familiar with them, because for example, you're new, you may not know all our rules. I don't expect you to know the rules. You'll catch them really quick. But, you know, ask one of us that have been here a long time. Even though I don't go to the bingos all the time, I've been to enough of them and I know the rules because I'm at all the meetings. So you can ask me, you can ask any of the ones that are there on a regular basis. But I think if we all as a committee agree to this, I think we don't have the problems like people then complaining because the bingo got canceled in the middle. And that person shouldn't have been speaking. It's not correct to the person who paid to be there. Yes.
From what I understand, that we're talking about the supervisory elections, and she had permission from the town to be there, from what I understand. Okay, now, she had permission to be there, it had been cleared, because when everything happened, I was like, oh my gosh, and then she said, what are you talking about, we have permission to be here. And they're providing a service for residents, period. She's informing all the seniors that the laws have changed, and now you need to come out and you need to register again if you want a mail-in ballot. I think it was very generic.
The issue with that
I'm not
is
done. I'm
that
not
it
done.
should have happened the way it happened.
Go ahead.
You know, when they interrupt you and you're talking, it's a little annoying. So, it shouldn't happen the way it happened. That's not for her to know or for me to know or anyone. It should have been done more. Then maybe there should have been an agenda of how the bingo was gonna run when you have somebody that's not a sponsor. I don't know if she was or she wasn't. All I know is that they had permission to be there, and explain to the seniors that you have to register to vote again because the rules have changed. And now, if you want to get a mail-in ballot, you need to ask for it every 2 years. So imagine all these elderly are expecting their ballot and they don't have it. So it's generic.
Just so you know, the councilmen should know our rules.
I know that, but
But they should. And if, I mean, that's,
But
to
is
some
that
extent,
now-
their responsibility
okay,
is
but
to
is that
know.
the fault of the guest then? Are we going to, you know, say, no, you can't talk and, or you're, do this whole thing? Because I don't think anybody at the bingo really complained except the board members. Some of them.
No, I think
which is-
people complained. They
No.
did. Because of the, but you didn't hear the
I know
complaint, but other people
They
did hear the
complain, you're
complaint.
saying they complain about how the bingo was stopped. They didn't complain about her going to say, hey, guys, you need to, if you do want a mail-in ballot, the rules have changed and you need to do it every 2 years. I don't think that was the complaint.
But you don't understand, they don't know what our rules are as to, they might have thought they paid. They don't know, they wouldn't know.
I know, but I
But
don't
not
understand what
only-
the paying
Not
has to do.
only that, I mean, if someone is gonna come to one of our events, we have to know
Right.
who's coming in advance.
So that we
But-
can
So
organize it.
we can
Okay, but then whose fault is
organize
that?
and we know what's gonna happen, but
Yes. Through the chair, if I could provide some clarification on this. So, obviously, they're a voter outreach group from the county. They are welcome to attend per the town clerk's office. They were put in contact. I did send an email to all of you letting you know that they were gonna be there. So yes, they were in the right to be there. Now, in terms of what they were told, I'm not gonna tell you I went into specifics with them. My understanding was we were to provide a table for them, which we did, is my understanding, and they could have their area. I think maybe what the concern is that they should probably not get anything above the sponsors and maybe just be at the same level as the sponsors, because of course they are bringing a service that is probably just as needed as the sponsors are, but maybe we just need to be equitable in the sense that if you're gonna give whatever outreach organization an opportunity to talk, then we should follow that same things for the sponsors. I think that's the only thing that I would say be
Right.
cautious of, because if you do it for a non-paying, imagine the ones that pay. That's the only thing I would say, but yes, they were very much in their right to be there.
I'm not
Last
saying that they didn't
bingo-
have the right to be there. Please,
Last
don't
bingo, we got
misunderstand.
19 people that were not in the list, and they came in.
Okay,
And they
but-
told them, no, you can't.
No, actually, if there are people visiting, they can.
And
come.
they even got violent.
No, we have to let everybody in. We've gone through this a million times. We have to let
And if
everybody.
we don't have enough
I think
food.
the thing is,
It's not
they
about
had a table.
And food.
If they had a table, they got to sit at the table, they were invited, that's fine.
But we get the
provided
top
for
of
them.
it, we
But
can't take
If a
everybody.
sponsor doesn't get to speak, who's speaking, who paid, what makes them so special that they get to be above?
there.
I'm not saying that they're above, I had nothing to do with it, I didn't know, I didn't
I
get
wasn't
I was
there, so I
not,
don't
no,
know.
I'm saying, I had nothing to do with that. I'm like, giving food out, doing whatever, I didn't realize what was going on over there until later. I'm in the corner, I had nothing, I wasn't around the mic, didn't say anything. So,
I think what happened is that there was a lack of communication. However, my question is, and I kind of see what you're saying, this isn't, okay, they came in to talk about something that's a duty, something that
To
that
all
is
the
a
residents.
necessity, because we want everybody to vote. So they're coming in, not to say, come join my clinic, or
No.
they're part of, so.
Right.
But they
Sure.
now, I think honestly, there was a lack of communication somewhere, because they could have communicated to us, like Xiomara saying, if somebody's
well,
coming in.
I'll said
I-
she sent an
yeah,
email
but-
to everyone, so
but
it's on
bes-
us for not reading the emails
No,
and
but
not
yes
questioning
and
at
no,
the same
but,
time.
but I think we need clarification too on when it's something like that's a necessity.
Correct,
Because
which-
this isn't like something that I'm pulling from my company, like I work for Care Plus.
Correct.
I'm gonna talk about Care Plus, no, this is something that seniors need to
It's
know
for all
to
of
be
them.
able to vote.
Okay,
So-
guys, we need to move on, because we have a few minutes left. and-
If I may, to avoid, I just don't wanna put any issues, they are planning to come, this is me telling you guys all, they are planning on coming to the upcoming bingos as well. So if that's the case, let me know, is there a message you want me to let them know in advance? It's better that we do it now than, last minute when they're there and expecting
So they're
something else.
messaging us, that's what they're doing, if they're coming again to the other bingos, they're messaging, they wanna get the message across.
So my suggestion would be, let's say before the bingo, hey, remember, if you want a mail-in ballot, we can do it.
Right,
Remember,
and I don't- and
if
I
you
don't-
want
I
a
don't
mail-in
think that's-
ballot, you
I
need
don't
to go to
think-
that table and re-register every 2 years. If you don't want a mail-in ballot, you can go in person, that's it, because then imagine a senior waiting for their ballot,
I
and then they're
disagree,
calling.
me. I don't have, nobody has an issue with that. That was not the issue. We want people to register. We want people to be informed. And we will tell them that they're sitting there. We've done it with numerous, individuals that have come to speak where, like a police officer, where there's, we've had other people, and right now I'm drawing a blank as to other people that have come, that have provided a real service to but we're the ones that announce it, we say
Maybe
if you
that was
have
a
any
misunderstanding.
questions.
It was just a misunderstanding with the councilman, because también who's gonna go up and take the mic from the councilman, and we don't know what he was gonna do.
But they seem to be doing that lately.
But we should take them, we shouldn't let them. Yes, we
Seems to
should
be
be
a pattern
taking
Then
the
somebody should,
thing from the council.
then maybe a little agenda, if they're gonna have special,
If
council
they,
people,
if
and
they
this is how
want
it
to speak, they should then address the person, and we need to move on. They need to come to the person that's in charge of the bingo. So if it's gonna be Rosario, it should be Rosario that they go to. If they're coming to the social, they should come to me, because I'm gonna be there. If I'm not gonna be there, then, there's a succession of the board. Go down, treasurer, secretary, and then the rest of the board members. Let's move on. Class painting. Sorry, Nancy, we have a lot
You
of
should
stuff.
probably defer some.
I know.
Let's defer to the class painting. Social, it's this.
Friday.
It's this.
Friday.
Friday. We have centerpieces, everybody saw the
Yes.
centerpieces?
I made centerpieces, I made 16 of them. We will raffle them off like we normally do with the sticker behind the chair, so that there's no fights over everybody else. So we'll stick the sticker on the back of the chair, and whoever gets that chair will get the decal,
Okay,
okay?
all right, do we have dessert with my question was, because I know,
And it's at
I think
11?
it's Casa Habana that is.
11 to 2.
Sergio's is giving it, does it bring dessert?
I'll double check.
They
If
usually
not,
give
we
us a
should-
cookie.
They usually do,
They,
but I just
Sergio usually has the cookie.
okay.
I'm pretty sure he said he was gonna take care of it with dessert, but I'll double check. If
Okay,
not,
just double Okay, it says here age requirement. Do we know?
I don't know what that is.
Okay, so we're gonna defer on that one. field trip, girl on the train, everybody
Next
has to
week, Wednesday.
register. It's Wednesday of next
It's
week.
already sold out. Keep in mind, it's a free event. Some seniors are probably not gonna show up, so if you have anyone you know that is, upset that they didn't get on the list, please encourage them to come. And we're just gonna prioritize the list. Whoever doesn't come, we'll take in the walk-in.
How many do we have already, do you know?
55 people.
That's the cap,
That's the cap.
but how many?
It's already sold out.
It's
Right, so
sold
we've
out.
got the 55 and
Right.
allowing
Alright,
for no-shows.
Quick question, Nancy, I'll be with you in a second. Quick question. I know Rosario can't be there because she told me she can't be there. I know that I cannot be there. Who from our committee will be there?
The play?
I don't know where there is, but I don't work, I'll volunteer, just tell
No,
me
it's
where
on a
and
bus,
when.
Nancy. It's the girl on the train. I'll be there.
Okay,
And I'll be there.
okay,
I
so you
always
guys
go.
can be in
I
charge
know
of
you don't
it?
like to go to the bus.
So
I'm
you
not
guys
gonna
can be,
get on, I don't have to get on the bus to help. Don't worry about it. You got
I'll go there.
alright,
It's
so you guys will
Yeah.
be there, we'll have plenty
I'll
of.
be there.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
We have
Alright.
people coming.
Hair days.
I think we're gonna defer because that's
We're gonna-
Rosario's
Yes.
idea.
What about the registration for the sock hop?
I'll
Is it-
bring you guys the list.
Is it full? or-
Yeah.
It's not full.
Or it's not?
No, it wasn't full as of this afternoon.
Okay.
And what is the timing on that, 11 to 2?
Yes.
Alright,
Alright, so
to
what time?
decorate. I
What
could
time?
Fiesta del viernes.
What time do we want to be
10
there to
I
decorate?
think we should be there at
Huh?
10 to decorate.
Social.
Mhm.
Because we just need to put out the tablecloths, which we're gonna need tablecloths.
Mhm.
If we have black ones, I think it'll match black. Is black a good idea?
That would be pretty, yes.
Well, let's see what we have, because I don't know
Okay.
how fast
Color
we
they
can.
Oh, yeah, no, I thought there was a bunch of black ones.
I'll do-
So, I know I will be there, because Rosario asked me to be there, so I'm switching my schedule. I'll be there, but I have to leave. And I have to be at my office at 11:10, so I'll leave at 11:15. But I should be able to hand out food by that point, right? What time is it?
11.
11.
Until 11.
there at 10.
What time is
One.
it?
People don't come
I'm
in
gonna
until
double check
11.
what he's scheduled it for.
And who is the food?
Surgery.
I thought they said that they would be there at 11 with the food.
They'll be there at 11, then I'll try to take lunch early.
I will double check.
Okay. Any, so I will rely on all
Just
of you
stay
to help.
till the end and do whatever it is you need done, let me know.
All right, no problem. Anything else?
Yeah, one last thing that I need from you guys, just so you guys know, remember that FIU came last meeting and they wanted to do the lecture? I've been in contact with them. Now, I just wanna get clarification from you guys. They're trying to do it on a weekend, the lecture on a weekend. Normally, we've been doing them during the week. I wanted to get your input. I didn't agree to it because I wanted you guys to
During
know.
the week.
If it is during the weekend, the one thing I need you guys to keep in mind is that the committee will be charged for janitorial services, because we do not have janitorial services on the weekend. So please give me a vote.
I
don't
think that
like
we don't
if
have
I
what
use-
service?
Janitorial.
We have to pay for the janitor.
But the problem is, most of the seniors don't go to things on the weekends. They go
Oh,
to
they
things during the week.
I don't know,
Because
that's why I.
if they have families, they're usually doing things with their grandchildren and stuff like that on the weekends.
I don't like
So is
FIU
the, is
at
the
all.
consensus from you guys that you guys want it during the week or the weekend?
I would
My
say
nephew
during
went
the
to
week.
FIU and one day he
Okay.
came and he told
Guys,
us.
I'm sorry, I really don't mean, we should not be having side conversations. Can I just have somebody make a motion so I have direction from you guys?
A motion is that FIU should be doing their seminar during the week as we normally do it.
Now
I
we can
second.
second.
I
Okay,
second.
now discussion.
Discussion, any discussion?
You guys were saying things.
No, I think
Same thing,
everybody was
we don't
trying to
have
agree.
things on the week, on the week.
All right.
Fine.
You're agreeing?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays?
Nay.
No nay?
If it's FIU, I don't want
no,
to.
no.
Okay,
it's
so
about the
name,
week.
so for your notes, name, one name. No, because you have to name the person when it's in. Maida.
All right,
All right, is that it?
motion passes. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Adjourn.
Yes.
Wait,
I move that we adjourn.
Second.
it is 7:07 and the meeting is adjourned.
Mi sobrino
I know
fue
there
a
was
FIU.
something else I
You
forgot.
know what he said?